So, Maharaj, very happy to get you back amongst us after a few weeks. I know you're still recovering. And friends, we will today start this new exciting session on which is called For Seekers of God. This original book, Shivananda Vani, written by Swami Shivananda. So we will have this class once every month, so every fourth week. So today's session will be the first one. I once again offer my pranams to you, Maharaj, and really welcome everybody. We will start today's session with the peace chant. Vamsi, you will unmute yourself and do the peace chant, please. And I request all of you to go on mute, please.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabiryajatraha Sthirairangai Sushtuvagum Sastanobhihi Vishema Devahitayadayuho Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishthanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.
Thank you, Vamsi. Thank you, Maharaj. Over to you, please.
Let us start this session with the Guru Pranam. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. So, dear devotees, I am extremely pleased to be with all of you today in joining the Tat Padam Satsang. As many of you have known already, this Tat Padam Satsang is conducting almost every Saturday, Sunday, a class. So their aim is to have 4 classes in a month. That is every Sunday. So 2 classes have been allotted to me. One is the second Sunday of the month and the 4th Sunday of the month. So second Sunday of the month, we are supposed to study a book, or I should say a topic, which is called Dedicated Disciples. So this has been being studied for a few months, and last month I think I could not conduct the class because of my illness. Otherwise, this was coming very nicely. And today, the 4th Sunday, every 4th Sunday, we are planning to have the study of a beautiful book called For Seekers of God. Now, first of all, I should thank Prithvish for hosting today's event, and also Vamshi from Bangalore for doing a beautiful chanting. Bhadram Karnevi, he has said, let us all hear the Bhadra, the words of auspiciousness. By studying such books, we are again and again reminded of the words coming to our mind. And when somebody reads it, and when we hear it, and it goes much deeper into our thought process. That's why such books are to be read. Now, just to start the session with a small introduction about this book. The book is, in English, it has been titled as For the Seekers of God. Now, it has been translated from Bengali into English. Now, you see, this book is a translated version we are reading. So we must understand the beauty of the original that was written down by Swami Apurvananda, one of the wonderful monks of the Ramakrishna order of the previous generation, he has written down in Bengali. That book has been translated by two great stalwarts of our mission. One is Vividishananda and another is Swami Gambiranandaji Maharaj. Vividishananda Swami was a great monk who founded the Vedanta Center in the western side of the Seattle place. It is called the Vedanta Center of Western, not San Francisco, some big name is there, I just now forget. But so that Swami, he went there and he's founded the center there in Seattle. Not only he stayed there for 40 years, he did a wonderful job of bringing many of these Bengali books into English to the people there. Because many Americans who used to come there is Vedanta Center of Western Washington. Thank you, Shobha. You are in USA, you could remember the center's name. You know,
I'm in Seattle, Sumaji.
You are not in USA, you are in Seattle. Oh, very good. Thank you, wonderful. Can we see all of you? Can we see you?
Yes, Sumaji.
If there is no inconvenience to you, you can put on the...
Yes, Sumaji, I've come on video.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Shobha. Yes, because you are from the Seattle. From that very center only, the Swami Vividishanandaji founded that and he stayed there for about 40 years, I heard. Of course, I haven't seen him in my life. When I went to USA also, he was not there at that time. So that Swami has put a great effort in, along with Swami Gambiranandaji Maharaj. Many people among the devotees who have joined today, some of you maybe might have been initiated by Swami Gambiranandaji Maharaj. I know that. And Swami Gambiranandaji was the 11th president of the Ramakrishna Order. That Swami and both the Swamis together, and both of them are very good in Bengali as well as in English. So the translation is somewhat very akin to the original. Though I must say a disclaimer here that original is always original. In whatever language, in however efficient you are in translation, some points, some type of bhava is missing. So that's what happens. When I start reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Tamil, I was stunned the first time. And then, so when I first started reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Tamil, and then it was so stunning. The first impression itself was so wonderful. But then I thought, how nice it would be if I can get the bhava in Bengali itself. So that was one of the biggest, impetus for me to learn Bengali, writing, reading, and speaking. So that's how we could learn Bangla, as a language. And it was so wonderful to read original Bengali. Even today, I read the gospel not in English, in Bengali only, because certain terms are there, certain typical the village terms Sri Ramakrishna uses that cannot be translated. Of course, Swami Nikhilanji's transfer of gospel is very good. When we read it in English, it's wonderful. But then, I tell you, even then, the certain slangs of Hooghly district, those are not there in English. So naturally, you don't get that rasa. Rasa means the juice of reading that gospel. Because gospel serves many people in many ways. Some people approach gospel only for the philosophical portion of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. And some people approach for the bhakti teachings. How wonderful the bhakti, the bhava is exhibited by Sri Ramakrishna. For that they approach. Some people go for only for the, if you will be surprised to know, only for the upamas that Sri Ramakrishna gives. So you'll be surprised. So yesterday only one lady devotee has been chatting with me, and she said she was so enamored of the Gospels wherever Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of moon. So she seems to be collecting from the Gospel wherever reference to moon is coming. How wonderful work it is. Of course, like that, we have got our own interest in reading the Gospel, and each one according to his or her temperament reads this Gospel. Likewise, this original work written by Swami Arupananji in Bengali. That is a wonderful book, no doubt. But English translation is also very, very akin to that original one. So we are little happy that how when we take this book to the English knowing people only, so it will not misrepresent some of the ideas that has been given us. With that proposition, we are taking this book. Now, Prithvish, who is going to read this book? Because till I say over, somebody must continue to read. I don't want to be read. The prefaces need not be read, but at least the foreword has to be read because it is written by another direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vijnanananji Maharaj.
Okay, so Maharaj, I can start doing it today.
Please. Please.
I was actually thinking in my mind that will you read it or how this will happen?
No. I will be only explaining the concepts, but not the reading. That will tire me out, the reading.
I understand.
If somebody reads, it will be helpful to me.
So, should I start reading from the foreword?
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing I should tell you before you start reading, this is the book for Seekers of God, which has been kindly given in the group, Tat Padam group, this PDF by one devotee, Lalita Iyer from Singapore. I am thankful to Lalita for sending this PDF copy in the WhatsApp. So those who have not got this book with them, they can just download it from the Tat Padam group. It is already twice she had given that. So I am very happy that she could put that book. And today she chatted with me and then she said she loves this book so much. She is very happy, she said. Yes. So the book it is supposed to be with everyone. If the hard copy book is not there, at least you open your either phone or your pad and then open that book so that we all can follow what Prithvish is going to read. Yes, Prithvish, you can.
Okay. And thank you, Lalita ji. Actually, I'm so happy that I was also reading the book. So really appreciate your gesture. So I'll start with the foreword, Maharaj, with pranams to you and Thakur. Mahupurush Swami Shivananda was one of Sri Ramakrishna's blessed direct disciples who dedicated their lives at the feet of the Master and served as his principal aid in carrying out his divine mission. I came to know the Swami intimately, first at Dakshineshwar and later in other places. It was in Sri Ramakrishna's room at Dakshineshwar that I first met him, sometime in 1884, 52 or 53 years ago. Tall and slim, he impressed me as being fearless. The Master said to him, "Look here, many people, young and old, come to this place. I seldom ask them anything about their home and family connections. But I feel like making an exception in your case. Tell me where you come from and what's your father's name?" In reply, Mahupurush told the Master about his father and family. After hearing him, Sri Ramakrishna rejoined, "Oh, I see, you are the son of Ramkanai. I know your father very well. He is a highly developed soul. You will certainly make progress along spiritual lines." That day, the conversation touched on several other topics as well. After this incident, owing to a strange combination of circumstances, I did not see Swami Shivananda for a period of several years. Later in 1897, about 41 years ago, when I was serving as an engineer, I happened to meet him again on my way from Barakpur to my place of employment. As I was walking up and down the platform of the Buxar railway station, from a distance I saw a sadhu, intelligent and energetic, who I thought might be a monk of the Ramakrishna order. Coming near, I discovered that it was Swami Shivananda. I greeted him. He recognized me and said that he was on his way to Banaras, where he would be stopping at Bangshi Dutt's place. He asked me to meet him there, which I did. He was very pleased to see me and entertained me in many ways, telling me all about the monastery. Sometime later, when I joined the monastery at Alambazar, Swami Shivananda was in South India. Living as an ascetic, reticent and restrained in his words, he was known to be of a very serious demeanor. Very soon, he returned to the monastery at Alambazar. Swami Shivananda spent many years in Almora, Kankhal, and other places, devoting his time exclusively to contemplation and meditation, occasionally coming down and visiting the head monastery for brief periods. Swami Vivekananda commended his spirit of renunciation and self-control and called him Mahupurush, the great soul, as a mark of esteem. Once during their stay in Bodh Gaya, Swami Shivananda became so much absorbed in deep meditation that Swami Vivekananda marveled at him and remarked, "You are like Lord Buddha." That was one of the reasons why he always called him Mahupurush. In 1918, Swami Premananda passes away. About 2 years prior to Swami Premananda's death, Swami Shivananda was placed in charge of the monastery at Belur, and from then on, he started mixing closely with people. In 1922, after the death of Swami Brahmananda, he became the president of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission, the second president. With the new position came a decisive change in the trend of the Swami's life. Tirelessly, he would meet countless seekers and aspirants and give them spiritual instructions, treating all in a genial and sweet manner, looking after the physical and spiritual well-being of everyone, and attending personally to the management of the monastery. All this became, as it were, his daily occupation. No one would leave him empty-handed and dispirited. Invariably, he would fill every heart with peace and hope. Thousands of men and women had the blessed privilege of being initiated into spiritual life by the Swami. He was deeply venerated by many, but he did not have the least ego in him. He used to say that it was the Master himself who, seated in his heart, was blessing people, and that Sri Ramakrishna and the Holy Mother were all in his life. Very often, one would hear him repeat like a child the words, "Mother, Mother." During the last few years of his life, we saw him suffer very much owing to many physical ailments. But the unperturbed way he bore pain gave us the impression that the Swami did not have any body consciousness at all. Even in those trying days, many devotees from far and near would flock to him seeking his guidance and blessing. He would not disappoint anybody by refusing spiritual help. Ungrudgingly, he would bless one and all. Human suffering would move him and open the floodgates of his boundless compassion. One would hardly expect anything of the kind in an average man. The Master, the Holy Mother, and Swami Vivekananda used Swami Shivananda as a vehicle to redeem countless souls, as it were. Mahupurushji merged his identity in that way of the Master to such an extent that he seemed to have no separate individual existence. Those who were blessed by the Swami surely had the Master's blessings, and his teachings were verily the Master's teachings. If anyone asked him where he would be after his physical death, he would invariably reply that his rightful place would be in the Ramakrishna Loka with the Master, and he would be reborn in every age at the advent of the Master as one of his apostles. It is my belief that Mahupurushji, since the disintegration of his gross body, has been living in his spiritual body with the Master doing spiritual ministration. The precious teachings gathered in this volume will surely be a means of bringing incalculable goods to many a seeker and devotee. That this book may arouse their spiritual consciousness is my earnest prayer. Yours, Swami Vijnananand.
Yes, such a wonderful introduction given by, or foreword given by Swami Vijnananand. Thank you, Pritesh, for nicely reading it. Yes, it is regarding Swami Shivananda Maharaj. Very beautifully he has said that his ego was zero. And second point to be noted here in Shivananda's life was he was completely or absolutely identified with the Master. That Master used him in his place. So whatever he uttered are Master's words. As Master used to say that whatever I say, what do I know? I do not know anything. Whatever I say, it's all given by Mother Kali. So Mother Kali's words, what was uttered by Sri Ramakrishna. In the same way, Swami Shivananda identified himself with the Master so much. And why we are reading, and he says here, Vijnananji very rightly says, that his blessings, because he has become one with the master, and he has to come again when the master takes another form for the doing good to this world, then also he will be coming. So as he is one with the master and always remaining with the master in Sri Ramakrishna Loka, so he is always showering his blessings also to all those people who remember Sri Ramakrishna as well as Swami Shivananda. So today we are very much blessed for the Tat Padam group. I should thank them for arranging this class, because along with all of you, I am also getting benefit. I am also remaining in the warmth of the love of light that is Shivananda is now pouring on all of us, because we have got the book, we have got his words, and we are going to study. One important incident, because I am now speaking from Tamil Nadu, so little I should say, I talk about little Tamil Nadu with Swami Shivananda. Swami Shivananda came to Chennai a few times, and he was talking to Swami Sashi Maharaj, that is Swami Ramakrishnananda, who was the founder of the southern centers. Most of the southern centers were founded by him. So while talking at that time, one gentleman came. He arrived by a big cart, and then he came and met Swami Sashi Maharaj. And also because he was sitting next to him, he met him also. He made pranam to both of them. And he had a big turban on his head. And Shivananda did not know who he is. Then he said to him, then Sashi Maharaj introduced him to Swami Shivananda. Brother, he is the Diwan of Travancore. That is, in those days, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh, they were not different states. This language-wise, the separation came much later, after our independence. So before that, South India, most of them were belonging to Madras Presidency. Most, I'm telling. A few were outside, of course. This Madras Presidency is one unit. And in that place, so he was introducing him, then he said, he has got so much power in the government, and he can do whatever we want. Suppose we want to utilize him, we can utilize him. Like that, he was introducing him. And then that Diwan requested Swami Shivananda, Maharaj, whatever days you stay in Chennai, you stay with Sashi Maharaj, no problem. But give me at least 3 or 4 days, at least 10 days. Like that, he went on telling him to come to Ooty, where I have a bungalow, and I want to keep you there. Come and stay in Ooty. Then Swami Shivanji asked, what is the greatness of that place? Is it a place of pilgrimage, like Madurai, because due to Meenakshi temple, or Kanchipuram, due to Varadaraja temple, or Kamakshi temple? Is there any specific greatness or glory is there for that place? Is that he said, I do not know if there is glory or not, because it is a hill center. During the summertime, we all, the government officials, we come to this hill center and stay. All the Britishers also come to stay. But this is the place, very important place, where Swamiji's disciple, who wrote Swamiji's lectures in hand and then gave us. Today we have Swamiji's lectures are with us, means it is because of that person. Anyone can remember his name?
Goodwin.
Goodwin, correct, thank you. Goodwin Samadhi is there. He passed away in Ooty. That is the only relationship I can conjure now in my mind. Shivananda said, okay, I will go there. Then Shivananda Maharaj goes to Ooty. He stays in this Diwan's house. It's a palatial house, and he stays there every day, morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything is going on as usual. And every day evening, he takes a walk in that small town. It was a beautiful place in those days because not much of buildings were there. Lot of greenery was there. Now only people are lamenting, oh, Ooty has lost its greenery, and it has become a rich man's luxury place. That's why when they compare it with my Yelagiri, where I am staying now, I should say my Yelagiri, attaching it to that place, the Yelagiri is now written by the state government as the poor man's Ooty, they call it. So when poor man comes to Ooty, how he will feel? That is what the Yelagiri is now has attained the status of poor man's Ooty. Now Ooty has become luxurious man's Ooty. So now that's why we cannot compare it with that. Now that Uti, on those years, he was used to go for a stroll. Every day evening he goes for a stroll. In one place he sat because of his, said, let me sit now for the time being. So he sat on the plot of land, whose plot of land, etc. he never knew. Just because the grass was there and it was a beautiful green grass, so he sat on it and he just thought of Sri Ramakrishna. Once he has finished his felt, he tries to get up. At that time, he felt somebody is putting his hand on his shoulder and pressing him down to make him sit. He looks at who has pressed my shoulders to press me like this? And then I sat down with so much pressure. Then again, second time he starts getting up. Second time also, the two hands he felt on his shoulders and that is pressing him down to make him sit. He again sat there. And he had a small meditation on Sri Ramakrishna. Third time when he got up, again the two hands came and then pressed him. He sat, and when he got up this time, nothing happened. He came away. This happened the evening before the great incident that has to happen the next day. The next day morning, when they were having, Diwan and Swamiji was having breakfast, one barber had come to Diwan's house. And he is telling Diwan, he is telling in Tamil. Swami Shivananda did not know Tamil. So Diwan was translating him the Tamil words of what the barber was telling. He says, what is he telling? He asked. Then Diwan says, Maharaj, this barber is staying in Uti. He's a Uti, he's a resident, citizen also here. This man says, yesterday he had a dream. In that dream, his Ishtadevata, whom we call Mariamma in South India or Manasa Devi in Bengal, etc., that Devi appeared to him. And she said to him, look, my dear, you have 6 acres of land. Give 2 acres to the monk from Bengal. That is what she told me. I inquired with some people, who is that monk who has come from Bengal? I do not know. And some people told me, you see, we do not know. If from other states, if any important man comes, then our Diwan is the best person to understand because he may be knowing. So you go to his house and inquire. That's why I have come. Is there any person, any monk from Bengal that is residing here? Then Diwan said, yes, we have. His name is Swami Shivananda. When he narrated the whole thing in English to Swami Shivananji, Shivanji said, let us go and see that plot of land. So they all got up, and with that barber they went there. And when they went, that wonderful, surprising thing was there. What was that? The place yesterday where Swami Shivanji sat down for rest, and where he felt 2 hands coming on his shoulders and pressing him down, that very spot he showed, these are the 2 acres, I plan to hand it over to the Swami. And thus, the Uti Center was born. There are many centers in the Ramakrishna order. They are not just somebody going and creating a center, purchasing a plot of land and making some money and coming. No. There are even today, these mystical things happen. There is another hand which is deciding where I must sit, where my center must come now. And that's how Uti Center came up. And in the very place where Shivananji sat, that was identified later, and in that very place, the Garbhagraha, the sanctum sanctorum of the Ramakrishna temple was built, where Sri Ramakrishna's beautiful image is there. You can see when you go there, when you know this history about the Uti Center, and when you go there, what feeling you get? I get this feeling that this center was not imagined by somebody to purchase a plot of land start. No, this was chosen by Sri Ramakrishna. That is the beauty of this, knowing these details. So it was chosen by Sri Ramakrishna. How much sacred that place must be for Sri Ramakrishna to choose and ask one of his disciples to go and then create a center there. Shivananda Maharaj created like that many centers. In North India also, he went to several places, and he was one of the pioneer in creating new centers. And this incident, because it is reference to Tamil Nadu, I'm telling because I'm speaking from Tamil Nadu, this incident is a great thing. And while from Coimbatore, you must take a roadways to go to Ooty. Or from Mysore, you can take the roadways to Ooty. Ooty is at the top of the hills. One side down below is Coimbatore, another side down below is Mysore. So while going by the Coimbatore route, one day, Shivananji just came out from the car, asked the car to stop. Then he came out and then he looked at the greenery. And what he said, I find the Divine Mother in her cosmic form. She's pervading the entire place. Like that, he praised the Ooty Center. So that is how we find wonderful Swami Shivananda's reference to South India. Of course, in many other places he had gone. And the other point that I referred to you from the introduction of Swami Vijnanandaji Maharaj is that how much ego less he was. Ego less means we only say, if you want to have an example of the zero ego person in our Puranas, you can see only one person, and that is Hanumanji. Hanumanji was an ego-less person. Ego was zero for him. Is it not? Even Tulsidas says about that how when Sri Ram and Sitaji and Lakshmana, and they were all walking or taking a stroll in Ayodhya. At that time, they have come back from all those problems of Lanka, etc. At that time, Sitaji is telling to Sri Ram, what she is telling, oh Ram, do you know what this Hanuman did? Wonderful. When he came there, he revealed to me his powers, and he revealed to me that he has been sent by you, etc., etc. Those stories she was telling. And finally she said, and this Hanuman, by his immense power, he burned down the Lanka, she said. He said, no. Immediately Hanuman jumps in front of Mother Sita, and with folded hands, he says to her, Mother, please don't say lies in front of my Prabhu. My Prabhu is a Satyavan. He is a Satyasanda. He is such a great person of holding to the truth. And to him, you should not tell a lie. Then Mother Sita was stunned. She said, Hanuman, do you think that I am telling a lie? Have I not seen from sitting in the Ashokavana that you have burnt that Lanka? Did they not put fire on your tail, and you brought the tail out everywhere, and you kept that fire everywhere? Then Hanuman says, no mother, that was not me, he says. Anyone remembers the shloka? During Ram Nam Sankirtan, we sing this shloka. Srimayi, yes, tell me. I want you to give that opportunity, that's all. Ullanga Sindho Salilam Salilam Yashoka Varne Janakatmajaya Adaya Tenaiva Dadaha Lankam Namami Tam Pranjalir Anjaneyam. That is what Tulsidas says. How beautifully, in a very literary way, it's to be enjoyed, this type of shlokas. How he says, at that time, Hanuman says, no mother, I did not burn Lanka. Why I told you, his eye was zero. He could never think that he burned the Lanka. Then who burned the Lanka? That question comes. So Tulsidas says, Ullanga Sindhoho. Sindhu means the ocean. He crossed the ocean. Ullanga means he crossed over. He went over the ocean. Ullanga Sindhu. Salilam, water, the Sindhu's water, the ocean's waters, he crossed over. Salilam is water. And he makes a pun here. And he makes Salilam. Salilam means as if it is a child's play for him. It was not a very hardship for Hanuman to fly. It was a child's play for him to go over to another side of the waters of the ocean. Ullanga Sindhu Salilam. Yet Shokavagni, the Agni that was with me, that was not mine. He says it was a Shoka Agni of Janakatmajaya. Who was Janakatmaja? Janaka's daughter was Janaki. And Janaki was sitting there. And it was her Shoka Agni, Adaya Tenaiva. I just took it for loan. That fire that was there, I took it for loan. So now, hey Ram, hey Prabhu, tell me, it was me who burned the Lanka, or it was the Shokagni of Janaki Mata that burned the Lanka? So how beautifully our Tulsidas says, you see. You see, every Ramcharitmanas, it comes in Ramcharitmanas, of course, and during Ramnam Sakirtan, when last stage of Hanuman praise is there, at that time we sing this stotra also. So it's a beautifully it is put. So Hanuman is zero, but think of Shivananda. A second person has come in our Hanuman. You can say it was the Puranic time, it was the Aitihasic time, it was the Ramayana, etc. Several thousands of years before. It was there in Treta Yuga, etc. You can say. But today, when we are living, when my grandfather and grandfather were living, at that time one person was living in India under the discipleship of Sri Ramakrishna, and that was Swami Shivananda. He had his ego zero. How is ego zero? You see, he used to, if you had seen Belur Math, most of you must have visited Belur Math, I believe, and there is no new person I think here. So if you have seen Belur Math, you can actually see how in Belur Math Shivananda room is kept on the first floor of the office room. Office block is there, one small block, where you can first floor if you go there, Thakur's old shrine is there, and next to that there is a room called Shivananda room. You can see that. And when he used to stay there, he had 2 dogs with him, 2 pet dogs, very big dogs. In the night, the dogs used to roam within Belur Math campus. And these 2 dogs were very dear to him. He used to feed them the breads, that is our roti. So roti used to be brought to him, and he would tear the rotis 2 or 3 portions, and then he would hold his hand at a very high place, standing on the stairs up. And then the dog will jump to catch that roti piece. And then he would throw it. And then when the roti is falling to the ground, the dog also goes up, jumping, and it catches it exactly. So that was a scene. 2 dogs doing this. He used to be very, very, like a child, he used to be, clap his hand, and he would be full of Anandamaya at that time. Was so blissful. And then when others are standing next to him, he would turn to them. He said, look, these 2 are my dogs. Do you know who is this? Showing his body, said, this is Ramakrishna's dog. You can understand how he could not even tell that this is the president of the Ramakrishna order. He never said. He would not like it. If anybody mentions that he is the president of the Ramakrishna order, he would just get, disturbed. I am the slave of Sri Ramakrishna. That is how the direct disciples used to conceive of them. You see, it's not a servant. I should say the 2 words are there, servant and slave. We know that historically, we know how the slaves were treated in different countries all over the world. And in many places, the very, very worst types of slavery was being practiced. Even some 100 years before also, the slavery was practiced, and it was very difficult to make it as an illegal thing. But with all that, that slave, how a slave becomes an abject obedience to the master. Master's will is the only thing. If he says shoot, the slave will shoot. If he says shoot yourself, the slave will shoot himself. That was the abject obedience to the master. That is the slavery. A servant may not do so much. Sometimes we think that the slavery word, because it has accumulated a wrong meaning or a meaning that is not very happily can be remembered, in the past history. So we avoid using the word slave. We use the word servant. Even for Hanumanji, we use the word servant. Servant of his master. So master-servant worship. relationship, etc., we say master-servant. But you'll be surprised, this slave is something we cannot imagine now in the modern 21st century. But how it was there from the history, we read this. And if you can remember that, and taking out the minus points of the slavery, I'm not here praising the slavery system, mind you. I'm not going to that. But I'm telling you that how that abject obedience to the master was being exhibited by a slave, that was how these direct disciples were there. They could never think that they can do something which is against master's will. Many times, many problems have come to Swami Shivananda. People come with all their sorrows and they sit before him and pour their heart out to him. And they go away. Those things we'll read it later when it comes. And at that time, Swami Shivananda is telling his sevak, the problem that the devotee told me is not an easy problem to be resolved. Then the sevak asked, Maharaj, what are you going to do then? They are expecting a resolution of the problem from you. So you have to resolve it. So who am I? I will ask my master. Thakur ke jigesh korbo. Thakur ja bolben, that will be done. You see that this is called abject slavery. The system of abject obedience to master. He said, I will consult Sri Ramakrishna and tell them what he asked me to say. Who am I to say anything to them? I am not a person to solve the problems of the people. It is his power should work. And Sri Ramakrishna utilized the body and mind of Swami Shivananda, one of his very close disciples, to utilize his work, to get his work done. That is how we see the life of disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Unless you take this outlook when we study the lives of disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, we will not be able to appreciate certain actions of them in their life. How they became so much as a slave to Sri Ramakrishna, they stayed on, and they did all the work. And it is Sri Ramakrishna who did the work through them, because he required 16 hands now. Durga can have 16 hands, but Ramakrishna cannot have 16 hands because he is a human body he has taken. So what he did, he took up the 16 hands through the 16 disciples. And through the 16 hands, he did a wonderful work. That's why the direct disciples' lives, or each life, is great. Somehow Tat Padam people thought that for Secrets of God we should start with, so we are starting. And one complaint from Juma is there, that I go very slow in classes, So 1 hour goes just like that, and one paragraph itself takes 1 hour. That she didn't attend my Gita classes in Singapore. Those who have attended Singapore Gita class, they know one sloka per one Sunday. That was the term that I was using. So please excuse me, Juma, for this. But this introduction is very necessary before we go to the subject matter. So when the subject matter starts, then these things will be in your mind. You'll be able to know why Shivananda is telling like this, why Shivananda is behaving like this. All those things you'll be able to understand. So it is only hardly another 15 minutes are there. And as per the request, 15 minutes is kept not for my speaking, for the participations of the listeners, or the audience, I should say, invisible audiences. Unless they open their mic, I cannot see them. So this invisible audience is there before me, so you can participate. I always welcome, the participation by the devotees. Say something. If you don't have questions, don't worry. If it is a question, you can put the question. We all will discuss. I will ask answers from the devotees themselves. Yesterday, we had a beautiful Bengali class on Narada Bhakti Sutra, the 4th Sutra. I know I was surprised. The way I put the questions to the devotees, and the devotees brought one by one, they gave the answers. So then I compiled all those answers and told, you see, now there are 4 answers to this question. So likewise, we can discuss that. So I always welcome the participation of the devotees here. There are total about 50 plus 36, 86 people are there, I think, now. So please, free to participate, and Prithvish will guide you.
Oh no, it's fine. Please ask. We have 86. We had 87. Now it's 86. So Malavika, you are first in the queue. You raised a hand. Yeah, go ahead.
Pranam Swamiji, that was absolutely enchanting to hear about it. Just in relation to the two examples that you give of the characters who are depicted or marked for having no ego. In the Sri Ramakrishna history, there was one comment about Swami Vivekananda and Nag Mahashaya. That Mohamaya couldn't catch two people. One is Swamiji, who grew so big, another is Nag Mahashaya, who was so small. And so that smallness, was it in terms of ego or some other characteristics have been compared? So I was just thinking in terms of your putting this special designation to Swami Shivananda ji. So just this thought came to my mind and I wanted to ask you.
Okay, thank you, Malavika. See, the question is, I did not specifically say only Shivananda was egoless. All the disciples are like that. Okay, but we find certain expressions of that egolessness in Shivananda. That is what we are going to see in future also. Now, coming to your question, that Nag Mahashaya as well as Swami Vivekananda both were compared by Girish Chandra Ghosh, I think, who said that Mahamaya has...
Your other laptop is unmuted, I think. Sorry.
Nandini also can...
I think Nandini Ravi is the person who has to mute herself.
Yes. Please look into your camera and then unmute when I'm speaking there, or one person speaks. So what happens was, I think it was Girish Chandra Ghosh who commented like that, Mahamaya spread the net of bondage, of binding these two people. So one was Swami Vivekananda and one was Nag Mahashaya. And the net, naturally net it is the interpolating of the two threads, you see, they come like this. So we see the net like this, it goes on like that. So the hole between the four, that is square, the two threads that are crossing, that hole became whatever size it was, smaller than that. Nag Mahashaya became and came out from that hole. Now the net became very bigger and bigger and bigger for Vivekananda, and Vivekananda became so big the net could not cover him, so it could not bind him. So this is a beautiful example of that. Yes, as you presume that this refers to the ego of the two persons. What was the ego of the two persons here? Nag Mahashaya considered that he is none. It is not he is some devotee or something like that. He used to think that himself as no at all. He is none. That is, he is not a body, he is not the mind. From the Jnana Yoga point of view, when we discuss these things, naturally when we go to Viveka Chudamani and other scriptures of Adi Shankara, we will find such beautiful expressions of the beautiful expressions of these ideas. How it is now, Vivekananda, his ego became bigger. So we consider Swami Ranganathanji used to call it the capital I and the small I, he would say. When we all speak about ourselves, we use that small I, mind you, not the capital I. The capital I refers to Bhagavan. In Gita, when Sri Krishna says aham, 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 wherever this aham comes, Krishna, that is not where immediately Adi Shankaracharya, when he writes the commentary, Bhashya, for the Gita, he adds so that we don't misunderstand Krishna. How do we misunderstand? When he says aham, aham pita, aham praturaham, like that, when he says aham, 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 at that time, we are likely to misunderstand the Krishna born to Vasudeva and Devaki. The Krishna who grew up in the lap of name I forget, I say.
Mata Jashoda.
Yes, Yashoda's lap. So like that, we immediately may understand. So immediately, Adi Shankara says, no, not that Krishna. The Krishna who is the Parabrahman, who is the Paramatman. Like that, he immediately gives that adjective, so that we are made to understand. Don't think when Krishna says Aham, that Aham is not the son of Vasudeva. It is the Parabrahman who is speaking. He is the Paramatma who is speaking to us. Like that, Shankaracharya clarifies. Like that, Vivekananda's I was that I, which is called capital I. Naturally, Maya could not cover it. But Nagamaharshi I was, the small I became so small, it is smaller than the whole of the net, that and there also he could not be caught. This power I see in Ramayana, when Hanumanji, again Hanuman comes today. Today is of course Sunday, not Saturday. Still Hanuman has come in our talk. And Hanumanji, when he went to, that Bhutaki, when she comes before him, when he was trying to cross over the waters of the Sindhu, at that time she comes and she opens her mouth and she says, wait Hanuman, wait. My duty is to eat you. Then Hanuman says, then he makes equivalent size of her mouth. He says, okay, eat me now. No, she cannot eat him. So she makes her mouth much bigger. So, and he also makes his size equivalent to her mouth. Like that, she makes bigger, such a big she has made. And he just immediately, instantly, he reduces his body into a small, like fly size. And it went through her mouth, came out through her ears. We all know that how this throat and ear, ENT we say, ENT doctor we say, that doctor will only see this ENT portion on your face. So the ENT, all the three are connected, you see. So he came away. And after coming out, Tulsidas says very beautifully, Hanuman folds his hands and bows down to that Rakshasi and tells her, oh Mate, you wanted me to eat, I gone into your mouth and came away. But since I entered your mouth, treat it as you have eaten me. And now allow me to proceed. Ramakaj I am going. Ramakaj karibe ko atura. Hanuman is always atura. Atura is a very beautiful word, We sometimes wrongly use this word. And that atura means so much of yearning is there in his mind. He would not stop unless Ramakaj is done. So that was the Hanuman's size. So he became small. So you can compare this in this modern days, our, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Juma, your question.
So, as you were just describing the ego, the capital I of Swamiji and the small I of Nag Mahashay, so can we link, is there any connection between the Swamiji's ego with Jnana Yoga and the little I with Bhakti Yoga? That normally the Bhaktas have the small I and the Jnanis, they have that I am that Parabrahman.
Yes.
So
you are very rightly, you have touched that point. Yes. This is our Nag Mahasaya sadhana path is Bhakti. And Swamiji's sadhana path is Jnana. So one depicted Jnana Yoga and another depicted Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga also, you do not exist. Other than God, nobody exists. So in Bhakti Yoga also, that I becomes so small. Only it remains in such a smallest molecule level. Why it should remain in the molecule level? Because it has to remain so that the body can function. So Sri Ramakrishna says, the great sages like Adi Shankaracharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they kept the molecule of the ego within themselves so that they can teach the world, he says. That's also a beautiful concept, So for that only they were there. So that small I is also required.
thank you, Maharaj.
Yes. One message has come from Sridevi from Gaborone. Gaborone, I don't know, perhaps most of you may not have heard about this place. And this is very near to South Africa, where I was there for 8 years. So she has written a question. If you open the in-call messages, you can read that.
Yeah, I see that.
Prithvish, can you read it?
Yeah, Maharaj, you said something about Swami Apurvanandaji in the beginning. He translated the book from Bengali. That's the question. Did he translate? And he was in Kashi Ashram in late 80s. Sarada Devi's direct disciple. So those are the questions. If he translated it, he was in Kashi, and if he was Sarada Devi's direct disciple.
Yes. The answers to that question is, the first question that he translated the book from Bengali. No, he wrote the book in Bengali. Swami Vividishananda of the Seattle Center and Swami Gambhirananji of the Belur Mutt, they both combined together, co-authored in translating this Bengali book into English. So, Apurvanandaji wrote it in Bengali originally. Then, was he in Kashi Ashram in the late 80s? Yes. The same Swami, who is a disciple of Mother Sarada Devi, and your mother has definitely met him. I do not know about you, whether you have seen him in Kashi, but your mother has definitely met him. Even in
yes,
70s.
I have met him. I had the good fortune.
Yes, Radha Ravivarma must have met him. And I also met him.
I also met him, Maharaj. I met him along with, I was in school that time. So
yes,
yeah.
Okay. In that case you have seen him, because I myself seen him in 76. So yes, he was in Kashi, the same Swami. Yes, next.
Maharaj, namaste Maharaj, Rajeshwari Kanchipuram.
From Kanchipuram.
Yes, Swamiji. My question, இப்போ நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்க அந்த அகங்காரம் அதை எப்படி மகாராஜ் ஜீரோ ஆக்குறது?
ஐயோ, அது பெரிய கொஸ்டின்மா. ஒரு பெரிய திடுத்துக்குன்னு ஒரு பாம்பை நீ கொண்டு வந்து போட்ட. So Kanchipuram Rajeshwari is asking a question: how to make that ego into smallest molecule size? I told her, you put a bombshell here, because that's a very big subject that has to be taken separately. As we all can see, if you attend the whole book when we study, there are hundreds of methods Swami Shivananda gives as an advice to his own disciples. And those things are written down by Apurvanandaji. So when we, at the particular places when they come, I'll point out to you. Okay? But if I take up that subject, then only 2-3 minutes are there, we'll not be able to do justice. Okay?
Okay, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
Yes. Any other person?
Maharaj, Muthu from Bangalore.
Yes, Muthu. Yes, Muthu. How are you?
Good, Maharaj. Thank you. How are you, Maharaj?
Yes. What do you want to ask?
I want to ask when you are coming to Bangalore.
Oh, yes. My program is scheduled to visit Bangalore on 24th March, which is Sunday. On that day, there is a retreat for devotees on meditation. And Bangalore Ashrama has requested me to give a speech on meditation. My topic is, my Basavangudi Ashram. My topic is focus on the formless and the form.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Maharaj, I have a question. It's a very maybe not about Swami Shivananda, but it's a question. You were telling that Thakur chose his places where he should have his centers or ashrams, so many places, and that's what the incident you narrated of Uti. So yes. My question was, when Thakur was alive, physically, where did he visit outside Dakshineshwar?
Outside Dakshineshwar, he visited many places. Kashipur center.
Kashipur,
you know that?
Yes. Kashipur.
It went out of our hands because the boys who were staying after Ramakrishna's passing away, they could not pay the rent for that place. So the owner took it away from them. So they were not even allowed to enter that place. That is one. And then Shampukur, where Sri Ramakrishna came and stayed in Calcutta itself.
Okay.
Yes.
So not to any other, like we know Holy Mother had visited after Thakur's passing here. She had visited a lot of tirthas. But Thakur hasn't gone outside her mother Kali in Dakshineshwar, mostly around there.
Yes, he went to Banaras. he went to Benares.
Banaras, okay.
He went to Brindavan, and then he visited Devghar. All these places have come. Devghar also has come up, where he visited.
Right. Yeah, we have more questions. Malay, Muthu, you can unmute and start talking.
But just to add to the Calcutta Center, Balaram Bose.
Yes, Balram Bose. Yes, Balram Bose. Even Girish House also he had gone.
And Kakurgachi.
Kakurgachi, yes.
Yes. Jogotan.
Thank you.
In Kashi, Thakur met Tailanga Swami Maharaj. Is that right?
Yes, it is right. Correct. He went to see him. Actually, wherever great Mahatmas were there, Thakur had the great interest to see them. So when he went to Kashi, he learned that Trailinga Mahaswami was there. So he met him, and then Trailinga Swami also gave a sign to him, and Sri Ramakrishna also replied to him by a sign.
And Maharaj, another thing, this the Hanuman taking the smaller shape and bigger shape and etc. This is the part of Ashtasiddhi. Can I define? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, part of Ashtasiddhis.
So, but Thakur in Kadamrita says that Ashtasiddhi China, Lokomanna China. So
yesterday's discussion was this only. Ashtasiddhi, yes. Ashtasiddhi China, yes. But Hanuman can have this, Hanuman did not say that I don't want Ashtasiddhi. Ashtasiddhi was born with him. He was born for a particular purpose to help Ramakaj, is it not? So, Ram's will intentionally has given him Ashtasiddhi. What he can do? If Sri Ramakrishna had given the power of his oratory to Vivekananda has to give orations. He cannot say no. And then when Vivekananda said, when Naren said, I won't teach, I won't go and preach, he said, your bone will speak, he said. That is what they say. So you cannot say no to them.
Thank you, Maharaj. My pranam, bhakti purna pranam to you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Mr. Chatterjee. I see Muthu, you still have your hand raised. You have a question? And also the Jabba, hands raised. Yeah, Muthu.
See, whoever wants, you open your mic and start speaking. Otherwise, you'll be...
Okay, Pranam Maharaj, really very, very interesting start to this today's session. The one query I had was when you were explaining about how the Uti Center came into being. I don't know whether I'm mixing things up here, but generally we always say that whatever is happening, be it us even today, sitting here, being able to listen to the talk and being able to go down the spiritual path or anything is by Thakur's grace. So would we not say that all the other centers, even if there were not such direct examples shown where Thakur is pinpointing that this is where the center should come up, but they all across wherever the centers or in general everything happening is by his grace? So how do we relate to those two, where you can see something so prominently, like literally finger pointing and showing, and some coming up in other ways?
Yes. Okay. So there is a Taratamya to Vibhacho. Some centers which come up by the will of God. Correct. This is a very beautiful question. I understand that. It's a very dilemma for me also to explain to you. Because, see, certain centers, as if Sri Ramakrishna himself chose, like that we depict. And some centers have come where Sri Ramakrishna did not choose like that, or there was no indication that the center will come up there. But the devotees came and appealed to the headquarters, and headquarters came and inspected it. I'm talking about the administrative side of how a center is taken over by the headquarters. And then headquarters finds, yes, this place is required, so these are the number of devotees are there. The center can be maintained like that, they think, then they accept it. Now, you may say Java, please close your mic. Yes, and they say then some centers are not chosen by Sri Ramakrishna. Like that, can we make a difference in the total centers that we have? I would say we should not. Why I tell you, one important point that strikes me now when I am thinking about your question. As I said in the beginning, it was a dilemma for me also, what to say. But now it strikes to me by the grace of Holy Mother, whom I always think that she bestows the answer. But whether it is the best answer or not, I do not know. But I can tell you, the collective will of a few devotees is nothing but a reflection of Thakur's will. So Thakur's will, independently if he wants a center to come up at a particular place, let it be done. But he does also, when you accept this idea that everything is his will, when you accept this idea, is it not his will to give this idea to the first people, say first person who thought of that I should hand over the center to Belur Math? Why should they think? There are many private centers in India who have written in their constitution, we want to hand it over to Belur Math. In Belur Math office, there are about 40-45 centers list is lying there, yet to be taken over. Now, is not the will of the devotees in a collective form represents Thakur's will? Is my question.
Yes, Maharaj, that is very true. Because of that belief, we are progressing where we are by that very grace. So yes, totally agree with that, and thank you.
Yes. So that is clear. Thank you.
Pranam Maharaj, Jabba speaking, Maharaj.
Hello.
My question was there, Maharaj, that you are speaking about the Hanuman and Sita Ma's conversation regarding that willpower or something like
willpower.
Not willpower.
Zero ego.
Zero ego, zero ego. Yes. My question is there, in this present world, without we should have is like a little bit. I think I can say 0.5 like that. Otherwise, it is very difficult, Maharaj, to exist, to stay with the situation in the real world. So, in this regard, can you please advise me we should work without ego? How, can you give one or two your advice in this regard?
Okay, thank you. It's a very practical question.
Please accept my pranam.
Okay, thank you. A practical question you raised. Yes, in this world, modern world, is it possible to remove our ego to that type of extent where our forefathers have shown to us? Is it possible? I would say no, it is not possible. But then Thakur himself has given in one place that you don't need to bite, but you give force karo kitu kamda bina. He says. So you can give, or what is that? How do you put it in English? Force karo kamda bina?
We can give hish, we can give hish, yes. But don't bite.
Yes, don't bite, but you give the hiss, he says. That is what we have to adopt in our life. In the modern day world, we have to keep that some ego is required because we have to go and work in the companies, we have to earn money, we have to take care of our families. So many types of responsibilities are there in the society for us. So naturally, the ego cannot be absolutely zero. So absolute zero, we are not wanting also. So that the ego can be slowly can be trained to feel that even my ego is his work only. So we say at the time of night, before going to bed, we ask our devotees, can't you say this, that whatever I do, whatever I speak, whatever I think, whatever actions are done by my body's 5 sense organs, whatever the things are done, activities done by my body according to my inherent nature, may all the things, yat karoti, tas sarvam, narayana iti samarpayami. Can we not say this? Yat karovi, tas sarvam, Ramakrishna iti samarpayami. Can we not say this? By telling everyday night, we will be looking into the health of that, our ego also, as well as our ego will be slowly coming down. That is the practice that we have to do.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Pranam, Maharaj. Thank you.
Maharaj,
I'll follow this.
Maharaj, we have crossed, we are over 10 minutes, so maybe we have 2 questions here. That was the last 2 questions we'll go for. Shobha Venkatesh wants to ask a question.
Swamiji, can you talk about the Ramakrishna Loka that you read in the book?
That's a wonderful question. That's a big topic, of course, because we have to tell about all the lokas. And Ramakrishna Loka is a loka that was popularized by Swami Shivananda. So many of our devotees, when I was in Calcutta, posted in one of the hospital center there, Seva Pratishthan. So many people used to come to me, and they would bring birthday greetings also. They will bring their anniversary greetings also. They will bring, and they'll bring sometimes this invitation for attending the Shraddha ceremony. They know that Swamis cannot attend, but they still the invitation is printed, for the others. So that they will come and they hand it over to me, and I will read it. The first line itself will be stunning for me. What they write, my father so and so, son of so and so, has attained Sri Ramakrishna Loka yesterday. Like that date and time is given. So so much that devotion, you see. Already fixed, Ramakrishna Loka has been fixed. In the lokas, there are the 14 lokas are there. Upper 7 lokas, upper 6 lokas, middle Bhuloka, and then down below 7 lokas. So total 14 lokas are there. Among the 14 lokas, you can add your own Ishta Devata's loka also. This is a very big subject, In Puranic context, when we read it in a scientific way, we can see that how the lokas has got existence. It means it is not like Yelagiri one place and Itanagar one place and Ireland one place, not like that. It is the same universe. There are different spheres are there. So the spheres are interconnected. So I can just go into Ramakrishna Loka now if I want. Of course, my heart is telling you will go very soon. But so that way we can imagine like that. We can go to Ramakrishna Loka. It is the Ramakrishna Loka then an imagination, a figment of imagination, a question mark comes. If you don't believe in the lokas, it is a figment of imagination for you. If you believe in lokas, general lokas, then Loka, all those lokas, if you believe that Ramakrishna Loka also is an actual real. This is a short answer.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Whoever next is immediately open, unmute and then speak. Otherwise.
Maharaj, there's a question on the chat from Malini. Okay. How do we differentiate Thakur's will and our small I will?
That's wonderful. Yes. Thakur's will is very great, as we all understand, and our small I's will is there. Whenever I think, I means the small I, as Swami Mokshananda, I think tomorrow I will go to Tirupattur and meet my auditor. This is the work I give to me, to-do list. First point. 10 o'clock, go to auditor, go and meet auditor at Tirupattur. This is, who has built it? Has Ramakrishna built or I have built it? Considering all the present circumstances and work that is allotted to me, I will it. Now, do I know that this will is actually aligning with Ramakrishna's will or not? If the will is carried out, it is aligned with Ramakrishna's will. If there is an obstruction and you cannot carry out that will, that means Ramakrishna doesn't want you to go to Tirupattur today. That is the answer.
Swamiji, Pranam Sarojini, just because you told that my heart is telling that I'll be going to Ramakrishna Loka soon. How happy? How can you tell like that? I mean, the state of your mind that it is like a traveling to one place like that. You have attained to that. You please tell me how I can also have that mind.
You can also have that because you know that your body which you are owning now as my body, is it actually yours?
But that though we know...
Is it actually yours or not? However, you may claim possession. The right of possession over your body, is it yours?
Because of Maya, we are attached to that.
You don't go into that philosophical thing. Is it yours? I'm asking. It is not yours.
No, it is not theoretically, but it hasn't come practically to me.
Yes, practically it does not come. So what we have to do is, that is why the sadhana is given. Shivananda's book is full of those type of sadhanas where we have to disassociate my I with the body that I own. Just I am owning this particular, say this is a flask I am owning. Like that, I am owning this body. This idea has to be stressed in our mind. It should go into the subconscious level and go to the unconscious level and stay there. The mind has to be soaked in that idea. Then only we will understand one day that my body is different. So I am anytime ready to go. Like that, that idea comes. If that detachment does not come, then what is the use of having this sadhana, you see? So the sadhana should take you. Anyway, in Hinduism, we don't say, if the sadhana does not take you to fruition, in this life, don't worry, next life is always there.
Maharaj, I don't like this talking, Maharaj. Ramakrishna, you told Ramakrishna Loka, but we want you, Maharaj. So
don't take it so literally, I say. What she's talking about, the Loka, the Ramakrishna Loka has to be thought of by every one of you, mind you. One day or other. Because we are devotees of Ramakrishna, where we will go after leaving the body? We have to go to him only.
Ma has promised, Maharaj, that whosoever is worshipping Ram Thakur will receive us at the time of departure.
Yes. That faith we must have. If you have that faith, he will come and take you. There are many instances, today I don't have time to tell you that how the Thakur comes and takes them. But beautiful instances are there. Some other time we shall see. Any other point?
Maharaj, this is Vishwatosh. I just wanted to add one more, comment to what Java was saying, that we need a little bit ego to survive in this, life where we have a family. And the thing is, even if we talk about Ramakrishna Math, so the monks are not like Akash Margis. They stay in a society also of their own. They have the other monks. They have to report to some people. So there are ego clashes there also. But even in that situation also, they try to maintain, the spiritual sanity. So it's not like it's only sansaris or householders who have this challenge. Even the monks in Ramakrishna Math also have the same challenges. But there are many cases where there have been quarrels between monks, where Swami Brahmanandaji had to go and intervene. So there also, if they were, able to reduce.
You are talking about Java's point. Java did not deny all those things what you said. What is your question?
No, my question, it's not my question. I'm trying to answer that this is possible to have the least ego to survive even in this world, because the Ramakrishna monks had shown that. So it's my answer to the question.
Okay, in answer to that, you say, don't worry, my sister, monks also have that problem.
Yes, the same thing. Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Maharaj, I think we have crossed 20
Maharaj, I have one observation, that regarding the two egoless persons, that example we have discussed, Hanumanji and Shivanandaji. So I think both of them are connected to Bhagwan Shiva. Means we say that Hanumanji is Rudra avatar and Shivanandaji also is a Shiva Mahupurush. So something to do with egolessness of or Ashutosh Shiva. Am I correct?
Yes, we can definitely see the Puranas have got such a wonderful literature. Plenty of incidents are there where we can connect with them, and that's why Puranas give us a great source of inspiration. So when you think Shivananda not merely as a, then why he was called Mahupurush? You see, so many 16 disciples were there. None of them except him was called Mahupurush. He was called Mahupurush. That in Vijnananji, I think he says why he was called Mahupurush. That line, did you notice?
He was meditating like this.
Huh? He was meditating like Buddha. Yes. Who said that?
But once
Two reasons he actually is giving.
Swamiji started to call him as Mahupurush because of his not having any physical lust. That's what he said. That's
the main reason. Yes, that's the first reason. Second reason is meditation, because he married a girl that he was compelled to get married. Because otherwise his sister would not get married. So the groom party that came to marry his sister, they put a demand on him, on his father, Ram Kanai. Ram Kanai was a great man. He was a Ram Kanai, so he came to Sri Ramakrishna also. When Sri Ramakrishna was having Bhairavi, was teaching him the Tantra way of sadhana, at that time, at one stage, Sri Ramakrishna gets a huge burning sensation in his chest. And whole body seems to be burning. So Bhairavi says, she takes Sri Ramakrishna and puts him up to the neck level under the Ganges river and asks him, you stay there. How long you stay in the water like that? Ram Kanai comes and Ram Kanai cures the disease. So Ram Kanai is a great man, is a great tantric sadhaka. So anyway, whatever it is, that's apart, that this Ram Kanai's son Shivananda, the Ram Kanai was compelled. He told his son, look, you are not interested in marriage, you want to become a monk with Paramahamsa, everything I understand. But now, if you go away, who will marry your sister? Your sister has to be given in marriage. So you will accept. So he accepted. But great blessings of Sri Ramakrishna, the girl who came in the life of Swami Shivananda was absolutely pure. So they never had husband-wife relationship. With the result, even though he was married, he was absolutely pure that Swamiji could not stop wondering that. And then he said yes. Suppose he had a son, etc., 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 is there, family is there, that he would not have been called Mahapurusha. So that adjective was kept for Swami Shivananda. That is one. And second reason that we find in today's reading is because he was meditating like Lord Buddha, completely without any sense of the external body. So he was called Mahapurusha. Yes, Chandrani, anything else?
No, Maharaj, thank you.
Yes, Sucheta.
Pranam, Maharaj.
Thank you for joining from Geneva.
No, not Geneva now. I'm in in Germany. Yes. Maharaj, Pranam, nobody talked about the fear. Because if you are sitting on a meditation and someone trying to press you, it is so eerie feeling. And I saw that generally the monks have no such fear. How to overcome these? Because we remember that Swamiji himself saw Buddha and Buddhadev appeared to him and he just ran away when he was a boy. But later he saw many things. Even in Chennai, he gave the pinda to some people who were died long before. So maybe it's Mariamma, or maybe because I read Shivananda Bani and later he's talking about this 40 range of hills. He's telling that there were a lot of monks from long ages, they already meditated there. So maybe one of them were telling. So how to go? The first question is how to go beyond this fear, or when we are doing meditation day after days, it becomes like that.
Yes. Okay. See, the first question, as you said, that means I think there is another question, second, to be followed. Okay. The first question answer is that the fear comes only when something that you own, you possess, you have the full rights, that is going to be taken away from you. In most cases, what happens, we are trained to see this body as a mere body. It has got nothing more than that. So long your ayu is there, Ayu, whatever Ayu that has been given to me by my previous birth. The Puranic language, Brahma writes your Ayu on your forehead. His writing cannot be changed. That is what in the Puranic way they say it. But in Tamil, our Alvars and Nayanmars, they say no. If Lord Muruga wants, that Brahma's handwriting can be changed. There are very good points like that. So I quoted also in one of the Tamil talk. You see, the Lord can change that Brahmas. Now, like that, we are all come like that with that idea. But then we must understand, this body is not permanent. This body is temporary. I am not this body. This type of Jnana Marga portions of sadhana, if you do not combine with Bhakti Marga, then there is a lacuna in our sadhana, which I will talk to you later when we take up that subject. Yesterday's in Narada Bhakti Sutra class, this was the point we discussed. One devotee from Bangalore asked me, why Ramakrishna traditional path of sadhana is called Jnana Mishrita Bhakti. Why it is called? And that was introduced by Swami Shivananda only. Swami Shivananda only very, very effectively he put it that our path in the Ramakrishna order is Jnana Mishrita Bhakti. So the Jnana outlook has to be added with Bhakti. If it is only mere Bhakti, bereft of these Jnana principles, then you will be only dancing and joy and singing, that's all. There will be nothing more you can understand about the body, and you'll be weeping like any other person. And then fear of death will not go away. Because still I am feeling I am the body. So this Jnana outlook also must be inculcated in our mind. So always we say Bhakti and Jnana like two rails for the railway train. If Vande Bharat goes at 110 kilometer speed, the two rails must be strong. And those two rails are, one is Jnana and one is Bhakti.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, it seems no more questions. You gave us 30 minutes more time almost. So
okay.
We'll call this a close of today's session. We'll wait to hear from you in 2 more weeks, and you can make out how all were eagerly waiting. So many people joined, so many questions. So, and friends, we will have this uploaded in the YouTube channel shortly. So, Maharaj, over to you, some closing comments.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and happy that to meet everyone again. Yes, we shall meet again and again, no problem. And we should discuss so many things, There are hundreds of things are there in Shivananda Vani, which is called the Four Secrets about this book. This is actually a treasure trove for a spiritual sadhaka. So I am happy that this book has been taken up for study. We shall go very slowly and detailed way. So no rushing up, okay? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Durga to everyone. Thank you.